Hello! Welcome to a new Speedpaint video. And for this one in particular, you've probably already noticed that there's something a little bit different from the fact alone that I'm actually recording a voiceover for the Speedpaint. Wow, that's new. I'm still getting used to this, so bear with me. It's probably not gonna be super great or anything. I'm still trying to get used to this, so yeah. Before anything else though, if you do hear my fan in the background or any other background noises coming from my laptop probably, or any buzzing noises, then apologies for that. It's hot and I need my fan. Also, real quick, I just want to mention this intro is probably gonna be a bit longer, and if you'd like to skip directly into the drawing portion, you can do so by skipping to this particular timestamp on screen here. I'll add it in the description, I guess, so you can skip a little bit easier. So yeah, in case you want to get directly into the drawing portion. But anyway, for those who would like to stay for a little bit of context as to why I haven't been able to record voiceovers for a while, since I want to dedicate the entire drawing portion to just talking about the art, then here we go. Let's get started. Kicking this long intro off by going back in time, however, to when I was trying to attempt streaming, because I honestly was very excited and way too invested into the idea of streaming. I just kind of went with it and I made overlays. I made a PNG tuber, which I will get into a little bit later. But all those aside, I couldn't do any sort of live stream here on YouTube, which was my original plan, because basically my laptop got deep fried, it nearly died, and stream is a no-go now because your girl's laptop can't handle it apparently. And this was after I've already gotten everything set up. I just needed to do a few more tests. But yeah, I'm not gonna be going into full detail about exactly what happened to cause this laptop fiasco, but I did make a very long post on Artful about it, so I guess I'll take some screenshots and plop them up on screen right now so you can read that if you're interested. If not, it's completely fine. It's a lot of words to read, I totally understand, but it was quite a disappointing fiasco for me nonetheless, but at least I still had all my files saved afterwards. Following that little laptop fiasco, I had a few more laptop issues after I got my laptop running again. It was a lot slower, and although it's better now, it's still an old laptop from like 2015, so it's not the best. It still works, but it is quite sluggish, and for some reason it couldn't actually handle any sort of audio rendering if I record directly into the laptop. Because what I did do, and this is kind of the reason why I wasn't able to properly do voiceovers for a while, is I would plug a tiny little lapel mic that I have, that or a headset mic that I found lying around the house. It's a very old mic, but I would plug that into my laptop using an adapter, and although it would record the sound whenever I would try to play it back and edit it, my laptop couldn't really render it properly. And I updated my audio drivers in case that was the issue, but I'm guessing it's just something with my laptop. I don't know, I'm not an audio engineer, nor am I a professional in the tech world, but let's just say it didn't work. Recording didn't work with that method. Then I tried other things, like using my phone as a wireless microphone that's directly connected to my laptop using an app so that I could directly record into Audacity. Because at this point in time, my tiny little pea brain did not realize that you could just import audio from other sources into Audacity to edit. I don't know why I didn't realize that sooner, but after I did realize that, I decided I've had enough. I don't want to deal with any more of these laptop issues regarding voiceovers, so I'm just gonna record voiceovers from my phone, which is what you're hearing now. I'll just record it on my phone, import it onto Audacity so I can edit it there, and then add the background music as well, and my god, that saved me so much time. I cannot believe I didn't realize that Audacity can import audio files. I'm still very obviously new to this program if you haven't already noticed by now. But anyway, you're hearing audio recorded from my phone, so if it's not the best quality, then it's what I got and I gotta work with what I got. So yeah, I still don't know why it doesn't work if I record directly into my laptop, but at this point I'm guessing it's an adapter issue. I'm not really sure. But anyway, one more thing I want to mention before getting into the drawing portion though is my PNG tuber, which you're seeing on screen now. I made a speed paint of the drawing process for this a while back, which I'll link in the iCard if you haven't seen it. But basically, I just drew a little chibi bust up of my persona hugging a little Sally plush, and I made like 5 different emotions for that specifically. In order to be able to use them in these regular speed paints though, I turned them into GIF files so that I could just insert them on top of the audio while I edit, which I'm pretty sure is gonna take way too long to edit, probably twice the amount of time it takes me to edit, which is already quite long since I'm slow paced at doing things, okay? At least I think so. But since this intro is already quite long, all the ranting about my old but still functional yet nearly dying laptop and all the issues it brought me out of the way, let's finally get into the actual drawing portion of this speed paint. Alright, welcome back to those of you who skipped, and to those who didn't, thank you. I salute you for surviving and getting through that 6 minute long intro? I'm not sure, but I really appreciate it, and I hope I didn't waste your time too much on that. But anyway, on to talking about the art. The artwork for today is actually a commission that I was commissioned by my mother to do. She basically asked me to draw this character as a child for the school module that she was editing. The main reason she commissioned me was because they weren't allowed to use images off of Google for the modules that they were editing because of copyright or something like that. So my mother decided to commission me to do all of the art for the module, which I happily accepted, and this took quite a lot of effort, time, and energy. Wow, I drew a lot of things for this, and I'm gonna get into that and explaining this in a bit more detail, I guess. My thought process was very convoluted for this specific set of commissions in general, so I'm gonna try my best to explain it properly and probably include some sort of visual thing on screen to help explain what I'm saying better, because I am quite terrible at explaining at times. Not at times, most of the times probably, but yeah. Basically, this is a set of 11 chibi bust up characters I drew of the same character, mainly in the same pose my mother requested, just holding different items and having different little extra doodles on the lower left side. I'll add some sort of visual thing on screen to help explain it better, but basically the first 7 of the bust ups had the same pose of the chibi character having a thumbs up, with different little doodles at the lower left corner. The 8th bust up was a completely different pose. It was kind of a power pose, which is also the only one in orange, since orange is the complementary of blue, and I mainly stuck with blue and orange for this entire set. And the final 3 chibi bust ups had a similar pose to the first 7, just like different arm positions and holding either a hammer, a paintbrush, or a mop. And for drawings in any sort of set, my process would usually be where I would finish all of the rough sketches first, then all of the clean sketches, then all of the line art, then all of the colors, all the way up to the shading and rendering. But for this one in particular, I wanted to just limit it to flat colors since I did want to finish this quickly so my mother could start editing. And by the time I was finished with most of the clean sketches, I decided to shift my priorities to working on completely finishing the first 7 first instead of finishing all of them simultaneously. So that's what I did, just so I could be able to send the first 7 off to my mother so that she can have something to edit while I work on the rest, which the next that I worked on was the last 3. Because they had a similar pose to the first one, I just had to copy the pose I've already drawn and adjust the hands somewhat, and then color it in, finish it up, send it over to my mother. And by the time I finished that, the day had already been over. It was already like nighttime, and I had to do the final one, which is the 8th one with a different pose out of all of them. For one, it's actually facing forward. So yeah, it's the 8th one, it's in the middle, so you wouldn't think that would be the last to be finished, but it was the last that I finished. But I did finish that like the next day. I think I spent half the day the next day finishing it, and all of the chibi bust ups were done, basically. But the commission itself wasn't done yet because I had to draw a lot more drawings for this commission. I drew a lot of drawings for a total of 8 modules, I believe, that my mother was editing. I had to draw a lot more. I think it was 20 plus. I'll plop the exact number on screen somewhere so you can see exactly how much I drew for this, excluding all of the chibi bust-ups that you're seeing on screen. I had to draw a lot of tiny little line art drawings of items for the activities in the module that my mother was editing. Basically, you know, in school tests and quizzes, sometimes there's like an image of an item and a blank space next to it where you'd have to identify it. Those kinds of activities and everything else similar to that, I had to draw line art drawings of the items in those said activities, and they took a lot of time. There was a lot. I drew them on paper first and edited them on Krita on my laptop, basically. But wow, this entire set of commissions took a total of like 4 days to finish. And it's not without cost. Of course, my mother is paying me for this, but wow. This is technically my first really big, not really big, but just my first big commission in general where I had to draw a lot of things. And yeah, I'm glad I got it finished. I'm glad I was able to work on this. And when I finished this, I actually saw that my mother also had to edit like more modules since she was editing modules for 5th grade students, I believe, for the next school year. And I asked if there were any more things she needed me to draw for the upcoming modules, and she said yes, there were more things. So I'm guessing I'm probably gonna have to draw a few more commissions like these. Maybe not these chibi bust-ups themselves, but a few more of those little line art doodles for activities and stuff. And I'm probably gonna be my mother's resident illustrator for a while. Not too sure about that. I'll probably have to ask her a bit more, but yeah. It is actually nice to see that I was credited as the illustrator at the back of the modules. It feels nice. Very nice. This took quite a while to finish. I actually closed my commission slots while I was working on this just so I could focus. But by the time this video is finished, edited, and uploaded, my commission slots should be reopened, and I'll leave a link in the description to my commission information just in case. My slots should be open by the time this video is out, and wow, this was quite a lot to wrap my head around exactly how to record this. But all that aside, the Speedpaint seems to be about finished, so let's have a look at the finished pieces. Look at you! You made it to the outro. Good job! I had a lot of fun recording and editing this, so I hope it was at least mildly entertaining. At the very least, I hope it was a good way to spend a few minutes out of your day. Before I go though, I do want to mention one last thing. I edited my card which has all of my links, where if you click the commissions tab, you'll be prompted whether you'd like to visit my commissions information page or take a look at the finished commissions that I currently have on there. It's just a place where I can dump all of my finished commissions, and there isn't much there now, since obviously I'd have to get more commissions in order to add stuff there. But it's there in case anyone's interested in taking a look at whatever commissions I've gotten finished and have under my belt as of now. And with all that said, I hope you enjoyed watching at least a little bit, and I hope you have a great day. Ta-ta!